Critical race theory is the reason that the Democrats lost,
Right.
and
Mhm.
we should all be very terrified because white supremacy is back and it exists. And Glenn Youngkin, of all people, is like
Right.
the master of ceremonies for all KKK rallies ongoing in Georgia and in Virginia. Did you hear? Did you hear?
I did hear that, and I think it's true. I think every bit of it is true. I
Okay.
think progressives trying to force the Democrats to the left by, suggesting. I mean, just merely suggesting things such as, I don't know, pre-K,
Yeah.
student loan
Child tax
forgiveness,
credits, $15 minimum wage,
Medicare expansion.
right. You know,
That's
terrible policies that are only like 80% popular with the electorate, but
right.
God,
I mean, that's
but Josh, come on, you're being unfair. Joe Biden's the new FDR. He's
he
FDR
is. I
incarcerated.
mean, all this stuff is I'm sure he's going to sign executive orders to fill these needs that were not in the infrastructure
No. The
bill.
Senate parliamentarian.
Oh,
We have to, come on. We have to play it.
got you.
We have to do things the right
Got
way.
you. But he has this Build Back Better campaign that he
Yeah, the
ran.
BBB, baby. The
Right.
BBB.
Isn't that what's happening right now? Isn't that what he's trying to?
Yeah, matter of fact, now that I realize it, Build Back Better, he stole LeVar's thing, isn't it? Isn't it Big Baller Brand or Big Baller Baby or whatever? It's Build Back Better.
Oh God,
God.
please, don't let LeVar hear
I
that.
hate it here. I hate it here, man. Listen, I hate it
Oh
here.
man.
Somehow the media and the Democratic establishment took them getting their asses handed to them on Tuesday and blamed it on progressives.
Somehow.
Progressives who are as weak and neutered as they've ever been.
Right.
But somehow it's progressives that, it's Pramila Jayapal that's to blame why Glenn Youngkin won.
Manny, I was throwing up watching CNN. Throwing up.
Oh God.
Physically ill.
Listen, I turned on MSNBC for 5 minutes and I couldn't.
I couldn't do it anymore.
I couldn't.
was like,
Not to mention, you know what's the most disgusting thing about MSNBC? Because CNN's its own issues, but like MSNBC, like they literally have Nicole Wallace, who served in the Bush administration. That fucking ghoul. They
Right.
have her as like this. Who the fuck wants to listen to what Nicole Wallace has to say?
55-year-old
Yes.
women in New York City.
Yes. Oh, hey, speaking of women, how about the white women that overwhelmingly voted against Donald Trump and for Joe Biden just a little bit over a year ago and then voted for Glenn Youngkin?
Well, I mean, they're allies, right? I mean, feminism is the same across the board.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
they weren't getting what they wanted out of the Democratic Party when it comes down to it.
Yeah. Well, it's the critical race theory, guys. Critical race theory.
It's scary.
That's what it is. It's scary. It scares us.
It's scary to tell the truth. The truth is a very hard thing to face.
But it's not even like real. Like I said today on the Vanguard, or yesterday on the Vanguard. Shout out to the Vanguard for having me back on again. It's not even like real critical race theory that these people are talking about. It's like faux liberal, white liberal critical race theory. Like, hey guys, like let's all watch Black Panther and like look to our colored kids next to you and just hold hands and hug. I don't think that's critical race theory, but okay, got it. It's God, I hate it here, man. I can't even.
Democrats will lose the culture war when it comes to that aspect of our culture every single time. With that,
why are they so bad? Why are they so bad at politics?
You know what? This is where the conspiracy theorist in me comes in. Sometimes it feels like they lose on purpose, dude.
I don't even. Is that even a hot take?
Here's a reality situation. Here's a reality situation. You have lobbyists who give money to politicians on both sides of the aisle. It just is what it is. Yeah. You have your Mansions and your cinemas of the world who are collecting money from different parts of the healthcare industry, pharmaceutical industry, coal industry, XYZ. At the end of the day,
Kristen Sinema is cool. She wears jean jackets and yoga pants to, a session of Congress, so that makes her cool. She's progressive. She's progressive.
At the end of the day, I'm becoming the issue of having money in politics is coming up on my power rankings of like things that I want to fix in this country. Like it was like Medicare for all and fixing institutional race. Right, of course, like there's ways to fix systemic racism by doing things that could have been in the Build Back Better program, like forgiving student loans and Medicare and pre-K, and like those things actually help solve some of the systemic stuff that we talk about. Now for me, it's like I am like full on like money in politics is ruining everything. Like 1,000. Like there's nothing we can
can't
do.
get any of those things without getting money out of politics.
I know,
because for all those agendas to be met, you have to eliminate the funding, the black money, and the funding of these politicians. That's the bottom line. I mean, listen, it's frustrating because it's like the Democrats do it to themselves, man. I mean, remember $2,000 checks? Remember that? Remember when that was they failed at that. They failed at the infrastructure bill. They failed at Build Back Better. They still haven't passed student loan forgiveness. They still haven't raised the minimum wage. They still have done nothing to address the economic issues. It's just like it's a problem. And I know that this may seem hyperbolic. And I said yesterday on the Vanguard, I'm like, how's that Joe Biden win treating everybody? How's that going for everybody? Are we that much better off without Trump? Yeah, I know Trump is horrible. We get it. And he says stupid shit and he's a racist and he's this and he's that. I mean, listen, whatever adjectives you want to use to describe him, but are we better right now? Are we much better today than we were last year?
A lot of 2 years ago? Are not. Yeah, a lot of communities are not, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like this is just exposing the issues and the fallacies of our political system. It's like you literally have two parties who are inept for different reasons.
Right.
And it's just so tiring. It's tiring. It's draining. It's
exhausting. It's exhausting because it's like, how do you fix that, right? Well, you have to get the numbers on your side. And for instance, we had, I think it was it 7 people who voted against the bill in the House of Representatives? Mm-hmm. But like it didn't do anything.
But but I keep bringing up Joe Biden because he is at the forefront of this. Because remember, Joe Biden, it's his economic agenda. Number one. Number two, I thought that Joe Biden was elected in part because he could sit down with the Mitch McConnells of the world. He's been in the Senate for 40 years and he's this and that and and it's like he's failing at this just as much if more than anybody else.
Right.
Like where is Joe Biden? Have you heard from him? Have you seen him? Have you talked? And Kamala's in witness protection. God forbid. She got the black vote and just dipped out.
They're going to get smoked in 2022. And honestly, and probably 2024.
They're going to lose in 2024. Forget 2022. 2022 is written. They're going to have their asses kicked in 22. Now the problem is 2024. And what I keep telling you, people, the next Trump is going to be more sophisticated.
Yep.
Well-funded.
Yep.
Well organized.
Yep.
And it's going to hand the Democrats their ass. And that could be Ron DeSantis. That could be Rick Scott.
Howley.
Name a guy. I think, and
Crenshaw.
especially Crenshaw's an idiot, so no, he won't go there.
They all are.
Well, they all are, but Crenshaw's a special. But when I say Dan Crenshaw's a special kind of idiot, he's a special kind of idiot. But they all are. No. This is my thing. If are we sure that Biden's going to be awake by the time 2024 gets here? Because I don't think he's going to be awake. So they're going
to. That's the thing. Even if he is awake, I don't like his chances.
Their only chance is for Biden to run. Because if he decides to step away,
and Kamala,
it's Kamala or Pete.
She can get smashed. You can get smashed.
She might not. She's going to get primaried as she should,
yeah.
And she will lose the primary, which will be an embarrassment.
Well, maybe she won't because she's a Kappa.
Oh,
yeah. So she'll get the black vote.
Yeah. Oh, and she was in college listening to Tupac,
right?
Even though she was in college 4 years before Tupac came out.
Exactly.
But hey, it is what it is. And you're right. She's gonna do just fine because she's a yes queen. She's Madam Vice President.
Right.
God, I hate it. I hate it here. Oh my God, I hate it here.
Working in the criminal justice system, she knows how to infiltrate it and fix it from the inside.
You know what? Here's one thing. I think only one person that I know of was excited this past week to hear about the Henry Ruggs situation, and that was Kamala Harris. It's another young black male that's going to jail, baby.
Oh my God.
It's Kamala Harris. I'm sorry. It's too soon.
No, that was an A+ joke.
That's Kamala.
But I don't know.
She probably wants to sign up to be on the prosecuting team.
Right, Manny. But you might want to cut this because you might get canceled.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I might get the Kamala hive, the
K hive,
the K hive. Yeah, I might get the K hive after me. Oh, I don't care. I've been saying my shit about. I'm like, have we seen her? Have we? How many? And the times we've seen her, she's had horrible interviews.
The only time I've seen Kamala, the only time throughout this whole presidency, is her telling immigrants not to fucking come here. That's the only fucking time I've seen her. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh my god!
I'm laughing but crying on the inside.
Oh yeah, we're both crying. We're dying on the inside. Fuck crying. I've passed the point. I'm dead on the inside. I'm just
dying.
I'm a corpse inside now at this
point. Bro, I'm telling you, I do not. I say this all the time, and a lot of people disagree with me on this. This is probably my most contested. Well, not my most contested, but my unpopular opinions on voting. I do not blame anybody for not voting. I'm sorry. I don't blame them. I do not.
Listen, this is a moment here, guys, because me and Josh have been doing this show on and off now for what, 2 years, and Josh was always gotta vote, gotta go out there, civic duty, blah 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 blah. And I'm like that person too, but I've always been the type of person that says I don't blame somebody for not voting.
Yeah, I can't,
because you have to earn a voter's vote. They shouldn't just arbitrarily go vote. And Josh is always like, no, man, you got to do what you. And if you've lost Josh, you've lost the country.
Because my thing is like, let's just say you're a poor black single mother in Detroit, Michigan, right now, right? And you voted for Joe Biden because not because Trump
was great,
racist, right? Not because you thought Trump was racist, just because you saw what Biden was proposing and you said, you know what, this is what we need in our communities. He hasn't delivered on anything. Not really. I mean, child tax credits, whatever.
That's the best thing he's done.
They're a little like that, and that's the thing with the Democrats, right? They give you like a couple of crumbs.
But we're so past that at this point. Like,
and that's my point now.
Stuff. Like,
and I think the vibe around, especially around like my black friends, and this is anecdotal, so I don't know what data says on this. I don't know what polling says on this. So don't take my word that this is representative of the whole country. Right. But my black friends are like tired of it. They don't see the point in voting anymore. It's like all they do is they get pandered to. They vote Democrat because it's the lesser of two evils in their eyes, because they look at the Republican leadership and like, well, at least they don't fucking hate me like the other side does. And then when they vote Democrat, it's
at least outwardly.
Yeah, that's exactly.
No, man, it's not anecdotal. I think if you look at the polls and if you look at Tuesday's results, I think you can see that there's just at best there's apathy on the left. There's really apathy because I think people have just figured it out like that. People are just tired, man. They're defeated. It's defeated. It's like after all that we've been through, and it's like we get given this stiff who's done nothing, literally has done nothing. The country's worse off than it was under Trump, which is saying a lot.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. Worse.
The economy is shitty. Look at the economy. Now, okay, you want to
what metric of the economy?
Be fair. We are in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
So that has to factor in. But look at the economy. Look at the jobs report.
I just read the jobs report's a good one this time around.
It's getting better, but it's still not where it needs to be. The gas prices are up. Like these are all things that factor in. Just talk to anybody right now. You think the country's in a good space right now? No. We can't even decide if we're going to wear a mask. We're not going to wear a mask. We can't decide if we want to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. It's just a mess. It's a shit show.
To me,
is it solely Joe Biden? No.
No, to me, that's the right winning the culture war. To me, that's what that is.
No, I don't even say they're winning the culture war by definition, but I would say it's the left and the health community dropping the ball, because I've said it from the beginning. The messaging on this is terrible, and now Fauci's lost all credibility because he just can't help himself. It's tiring, man. It's like tiring. I don't even know what else to say. I wish I could. I was on the Vanguard yesterday, and I was just at my lowest. Like I just had no hope, no energy, no positivity to share, because it's like, what can we say? Even this infrastructure bill, it's like, why even pass it at this point? It's so far removed. It's so far stripped. Even the child tax credit, they've extended it for a year.
Right.
Universal pre-K still not on. Still not a guarantee to pass. Like it's like for what? Like why?
Internet,
just
what? Internet. Because not everybody has a phone in their fucking hands. Broadband's really important, Manny.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate it. I hate this country right now. I really do.
We didn't get childcare or pre-K or Medicare expansion or student loan forgiveness
but yet we can't tax billionaires, and the military industrial complex budget, it's still
hey, this bill did not raise taxes.
Yay. Oh man,
I get it, man. There's nothing I think that's the difference too. Like, because even the good stuff in this bill, and a lot of people vote on emotion. A lot of people vote on like what they can feel and what is material in their world. There's nothing really material that anyone can. I wouldn't say anyone, that a lot of people are going to be able to take away and say, this bill legitimately changed my life in this sort of way. I think a lot of America, or most of America, is going to have this bill passed and not even notice that it was passed.
Well, because you can't tell what the fuck is in the bill, because they've just made it that way.
Right.
And then it's like, listen, politics is not difficult. Improve people's material conditions and people will vote for you. People will be happy. Again, we're still in a terrible economy. I don't know. I think it would probably help to, have stimulus checks still going out to people, but no, we can't do that. We can provide stimulus packages for corporations and the rich, but God forbid, Gina, single mom, 3 kids, barely struggling to make it, she can't get a handout. God forbid, because we wouldn't want her to be a welfare queen. Got it. We have people saying, oh, nobody wants to work, even though wages are still at the lowest they've ever been, and we still can't get a national hike in the national minimum wage. But nobody wants to work, Josh. I don't know if you heard it, but nobody wants to work. The moratoriums have all been lifted, so people are out of their homes or struggling to get their situations back in order. I mean, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And again, I don't see where there's a solution in sight. I don't see where there's a solution in sight.
I think that's the thing that's got me most jaded too. I agree with you in that scenario where it's like, I mean, even the people who, and I'm not saying you were high on them. I was probably higher on like the squad than you were, but even like that group, you kind of get excited because you see people who kind of, if not have the same exact ideology as you do, and to see them just not even make a dent in anything, really. I mean, Cori Bush, she sat outside of Congress for 2 days and slept outside for what? You know what I mean? Like, AOC wears a dress to the gala saying tax the rich for what? It's like
performative. It's performative bullshit, man. Yeah. That's all it is. And I was high on the squad. I was just like you. I believed in the squad. I believed that this time it would be different. And they just and again, it's like, for what? They've and I don't even think it's them. I just think that they
it's not. We don't have enough numbers. We don't have the numbers,
and they don't have the power, and they're not willing, to be disliked. Like when you advertise yourself as, I am going to be the apple cart that upsets the system, you can't go into the system and then call Nancy Pelosi Mama Bear. That's just not. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to be hated. You got to be willing to say, I don't give a fuck. This needs to change. Yeah. And if I don't care, if you don't put me on committee assignments, I don't care if you don't want to, if you're going to try to fund people to primary me, I don't care, because this is what I stand for. This is what the people that in the Southern District of this place, or in this congressional district or that congressional district, this is what they voted for me to do. That's what you need to be. And if you're not willing to be that, then you failed.
That's why I like Nina a lot. That's why I wish Nina got in.
Listen, I love Nina, but she took TYT's money at the end of the day, and now she's on TYT. I can't forgive Tina for that. That's like she's that's like basically just getting a job at MSNBC at this point.
Like, you think so? TYT's on that level?
Yeah, they're on that level now. It's like
I never really watched that. I like Anna. Outside of Anna, I'm not really.
I liked Anna, but even recently, Anna's just been like, listen, I used to love TYT, but
I don't watch them.
it's
I
just
don't
not the
watch them.
same anymore. It's not the same
Yeah.
anymore, and they're getting funded by corporate interests anyway. It's been
Are they?
discovered, even So
I'll watch
it's
something that Anna's on. Like if she's interviewed by someone else, I'll watch that.
Mhm.
But I won't watch a program.
Yeah.
From
I'm
TYT.
just I'm defeated, bro. I just really am. I don't know. I wish I had the energy, but I just don't. I don't have the energy anymore, man. Because it's like, what's the point? What's the point? It's like,
Yeah, I'm feeling
you
that.
know.
I'm feeling that this week too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And it's like no matter what happens, they're still gonna find a way to blame us. We didn't come out and vote.
I think that's the
We didn't.
disheartening thing of it all, where it's just kind of like, how do you blame?
And then it's like they do, and that's what pisses me off about the squad and progressive members of Congress in general. It's like they do all these things just to be liked by the establishment, and then it's like they don't give a fuck. They still don't like you. They're never going to support you.
Right.
They fear you. You are their enemy. You are
Right.
more their enemy than the right, and it's never going to change.
Yeah.
And this is for Pramila Jayapal, and this is for the whole squad, and this is for everybody in there that calls himself a progressive. It's like they don't like you. They don't care about you. You're an enemy. You are an obstacle in what they're trying to accomplish. And you can try to make them like you. They're never going to like you.
I honestly think we're a generation away from making the party more progressive. I think a lot of the people who are holding back are, these 70-year-old white men in Congress, these Democrats like Joe Manchin, who basically are pretty much conservatives just as Democrats.
I mean, look at the most
as
powerful
a new generation,
people.
As a new generation comes in, that's when we're going to have more progressive policies and things of that nature. But it's going to take at least a generation for sure.
Look at who are the most powerful people in our government right now that are making decisions, not just for us, but the generation following us and our kids. Joe Biden, who's basically 80, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, all the Supreme Court as a whole, besides what Sotomayor and the two new ones that Trump appointed.
Right, the two new ones are conservative.
Yeah, that are conservative. Like, look at the age of these people. And listen, I'm not even one of those people that like, oh, age, because Pete Buttigieg is our age and he's fucking vapid and offers nothing. Right. So it's not even about age, but it's like, look at these are the people that are deciding our laws and what our country's going to stand for. What it's going to be. It's just outdated. It's outdated.
Even if they have good intentions, it's outdated. It's like watching The View. Like I watched The View and I don't watch The View, but I'll watch highlights from like Sam Cedar or whatever. And I'll watch The View and I think they have good intentions, but they're so outdated in their way of thinking that it's
because they're geared towards 65-year-old women who sit at home and
exactly. Like I'll have a conversation with I bring my father up a lot on the show. I realize because he votes Democrat because he's big on union. He's a big union guy, and he wouldn't vote Democrat if it wasn't for that. If I'm being honest with you, but even he and I you would think we were opposed in our parties based on our conversations that we have because he's so set in his ways and anything that I bring to the table or any ideas that I bring to the table are so radical to him that they think it's gonna I don't know, just mess up the fabric of the country.
I love how they always say, well, how are you going to pay for that? How are you going to pay for that? What? Universal pre-K? Who's going to pay for that?
My dad more just goes oh, that's not going to happen. He doesn't even give a reason. He just knows that it's not going to happen.
But I just love the ones that always say how are you going to pay for that? We never, when we bomb Syria or we bomb Lebanon or we bomb whatever country in the Middle East, we never say, how are we going to pay for that? No one ever asks that question. But when it comes to real policies to help real working people, how are you going to pay for that? Students, college, free college? Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that?
Right.